In the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians, we receive from Paul this phenomenal understanding of what love is. And in the 4th verse, Paul says that love is patient. And in the Old King James, it says that love suffers long. Love is this powerful thing that chooses to be a victim. See, suffering is something that we would rather not do. You may suffer through a 6th grade band performance, knowing that maybe it's not the best music, but that you are invested in care for the person performing the music. You may suffer an injustice of not being respected for your contributions to your workplace or not being respected by family members. But you endure these things because you care about your job or you care about your family members. Suffering is very much the act of being a victim. No matter what the thing is that we don't want to do, we don't want to experience, our suffering takes us captive and pins us down against our desires. But suffering is different from long suffering. See, long suffering is the paradox of choosing to suffer, or choosing what we do not want to choose indefinitely, to live with what we despise, hate, disregard, and scorn. To suffer is to be a victim, but to long suffer is in one sense to be free. Long suffering is the daily choosing and renewing of our decision to accept what we desperately do not want and cannot change. Making no complaints or whining, and yet living with it and rejoicing in it. See, most people in their life choose to avoid suffering at any possibility. We medicate, distract, escape, watch long television binges. If we can avoid something that would cause pain or any difficulty in our life, we take it. And I'm not immune to that. I do the same thing. But if I'm going to be transformed by the love of God, then I have to begin the process of long suffering and learning what it means to suffer long. And so in this time, we have currently, there are 9 days left in Michigan of the stay-at-home order. And so what if for the next 9 days, we chose to suffer along with it, where we obeyed precisely the orders of our government. We chose to listen and heed the advice of experts because we are choosing to live with what we do not want to live with. The point of Paul's writing about love is that this is the love that Christ has for us, and it is the love that we should have for one another. Christ dives deep into long suffering. Even though he asked for it to be removed from him in the garden, he ultimately accepts his present circumstance. We may ask God for our circumstance to be removed, but then, if it is not removed, we must, if we want to have the love of Christ in every thought, word, or deed, accept the situation. See, long suffering is actually the power to be a creative victim. Long suffering is not pacifism of circumstance. It is a tough and aggressive stance that has the power to be creatively weak. Some of the greatest songs, poetry, art, understandings of our world come from people who have suffered immensely for a long time. Love and long suffering give us power to accept life, to find the goodness in living while we are victims of situations we despise. So, would you choose today to suffer long? Not as a passive victim but a creative victim of circumstances you did not choose? Would you surrender your circumstances to Jesus and invite him to impart his long-suffering love into you? And would you ask him to abide in you? Will you join me in prayer? Lord, you are the one who leads us to suffer along with you. We ask that you give us the wisdom and the strength and the love of long-suffering, that in the next 9 days, you would be present with us in our suffering. That it may be frustrating, it may not be what we want, but that you would have and give us the rejoicing in our circumstance. May we pray. Amen.